Hey guys, so I just ended the class, but we had a couple questions on 6.3 quick check on binomial distribution. So I want to go over all seven, I think it's got 7 questions. I'm going to go over all 7 questions in this video, and then I'll submit the assignment so that we make sure there's no more typo or anything, okay? So here we go. The first question that I have is, and you may want to kind of skip forward or, because the questions are scrambled. So my number 1 is this one. In a National Basketball Association, the top free throw shooters usually have probability of about 0.87 of making any given free throw. Find the probability that the player more than, this is the first typo for me right here. The player makes more than 7 free throws out of 10 free throws. Maybe I can fix it. I'll fix it after recording this. So, but what they're asking is, what's the chance of this person making more than 7 free throws? So let's go ahead and do this. As you can see, the N and P is given. So let me go ahead and open up stat, calculators, and binomial. Binomial, because why? He's either gonna make that shot or not making it. And then the success rate is going to remain the same, 0.87 for each trial. So binomial it is. We're going to say N is 10. Why? He's going to throw 10 free throws. So N is 10, fixed number of observation. And P, what is P going to be? P is going to be 0.87. 80% chance of him making each of these shots. Now, be very careful. They said more than 7 free throws. So I know you're going to type in 7 in there. But when they say more than 7 free throws, you want to make sure that the symbol is X is greater than 7, not greater than or equal to 7. Because they didn't say more than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or at least 7. They said more than 7. We just need to be counting the cases like 8, 9, and 10. Okay? The probability is 0.8692, and they wanted you to round to nearest thousandth. So you want to copy up to 3 decimal places. So that will be 0.869. Okay, let me zoom into what I typed in StatCrunch for you. Makes sense that N is 10, P is 0.787. But make sure you're changing this symbol to greater than 7. All right, let's go to the next one. The multiple choice test has 12 questions, each of which has 4 possible answers. Remember, if you have 4 possible answers, and I gotta keep on reading and talk about this one student, only one is correct. Okay, if Sammy, who forgot to study for the test, guesses on all questions. So now here's the thing. He has no idea what he's doing. So his guess is gonna be random. So take a look. Only one answer is correct out of 4, right? So what's the probability of him guessing and getting it right? 1 out of 4, right? So probability of success is 0.25. It should be much higher, right? But Sammy never studied, so he doesn't know anything. So there's a 0.25 chance, 0.25 is the probability of him successfully guessing and getting it right. Now, notice they said 12 questions. So I'm doing N is 12, P is 0.25. Let's keep going. What do they want? What is the probability that he will answer exactly 3 questions correctly? Okay, so I'm going to say this is equal to 3 and compute. The answer is 0.2581. 0.2581. It's right here for me. So let me go ahead and click this and move on. Back to a free throw question now. In the National Basketball Association, top free throw shooters usually have a chance, a probability of about 0.87. I remember this, 0.87, of making any given free throw. Find the probability that the player made all 10 free throws. So how many times is this player throwing? He's throwing 10 times, right? Because they said all 10 free throws. So what we are trying to find is n is 10, p is 0.87. What's the probability of x equals 10? And that comes out to be 0.2484. And they said round to nearest thousandth. So you want to just go ahead and give them 3 decimal places, 0.248. Let me go ahead and type that in here. Next. All right, 3 more. According to a college survey, 17% of all students work full-time. Guess what P is? 0.17. Find the, hold on a second. I don't think we need a calculator over here because what we need is what? Find the mean for the random variable x, the number of students who work full-time in a sample of size 100. Now remember, I think we went over this one in class together after I stopped recording, but I have the notes taken over here. P is 0.17, right? P is 0.17, that's given. And what else is given? N is 100. Now guys, I'm talking about P and N here because those are the two pieces you need to find the mean of a binomial distribution, okay? Mean equals N times P, really. That's it. And this is from our 6.3 notes. Mean of a binomial distribution is N times P. So what you want to do is simply multiply your N and P together. So if you do 100 times 0.17, you get 17. So what you are getting is that the expected value of this distribution is going to be 17. I mean, that makes perfect sense. About 17% of college students work full-time. If you got a sample of 100, about 17 of them will work full-time. Next, in one city, probability that a person will pass his or her driving test on the first attempt is 0.62. Okay, I'm gonna need a calculator for this one. Where did that go? Oh, okay, I'll open it again. And I'll take it out over here. Find that question. Ah, here it is. So what do I have? P is 0.62. Stat calculator binomial. P is 0.62. 24 people are selected at random. N is 24. Blah, blah, blah. What is the probability that among these 24 people, the number passing the test is in between? It's between 17 and 22 inclusive. Guys, for this one, we want to click on between calculator, okay? Because 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, that's what we want to find. And we don't want to find those 5 different things and add them up together. So what we can do is just go to between calculator, give them the N is 24, P is 0.62. Let me zoom in for you over here so that you can see. Inclusive, 17 and 22. Change this number to 17 on the left. Change this number to 22 on the right. Okay? And then if you go ahead and compute it, ta-da! You get the answer is about 25%. But they said round your answer to 4 decimal places. I can see it over here, 4 decimal places. So I'll say my final answer is 0.2511. And note that we're using between calculator to write the lower bound of 17 on the left and upper bound of 22 on the right. Okay? So you write down your final answer is 0.2511. Next. I'm almost done. All right. A multiple choice test has 12 questions, each of which has 5 possible answers. Now remember the previous one that, the Sammy one, it's still Sammy again, poor Sammy, had 4 possible answers, but this one is going to be harder for him to guess and get right because there are, 4 more wrong choices over here. So what's the chance of him completely guessing it and getting it right? 1 out of 5. So probability of success is 0.20 this time. Sorry, it used to be 0.25 when he had 4 choices. But when there are 5 answer choices, the probability of him guessing it right is going to be 0.20. All right, let's keep reading. Only one of them which is correct. If Sammy, who forgot to study for the test, guesses on all questions, what is the probability that he will answer at least 6 questions correctly? All right. Now, I'm not going to play with between calculator here. Let me go back to the standard binomial calculator. N is 12 because it's taking a 12 question test. P is 0.20. Why? 1 divided by 5 is 0.2. They said at least 50. That's what he's trying to say. So what we're going to do is greater than or equal to 6 questions and compute it. The answer is 0.019. So there's like a less than 2% chance that he's going to get over 50 if he doesn't know what he's doing. So alrighty. So 0.0194 is the answer that we want to click on. And there it is. Last one now. Now, this one goes with that mean question that we did a couple questions ago. According to the college survey, 17% of all students work full-time. Find the standard deviation for the random variable x, the number of students who work full-time in samples of size 100. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. Find the standard deviation of the binomial random variable. Remember, the formula is square root of n times p times q. And in class, we talked about how to find what q is, simply doing 1 minus p. So I actually did this with one of our, we did this after class, but I think I wasn't recording then. So here we go. If P is 0.17, guess what Q is? Q is 0.83. Why? Because you have to do, let me show you a calculator, 1 minus P. You have to do 1 minus 0.17. That's how you find the probability of failure, okay? 0.83. Why did I need this? Because the standard deviation formula says you need to multiply this n times p times q and then square root the whole thing, okay? So we're gonna do 100 times 0.17 times 0.83 and we'll take square root of that. And this little calculator doesn't have the square root function. Oh, it does. Guess what it does? So I'm gonna do 100 times 0.17 times 0.83, hit enter, and then I will square root that 14.11. The answer is 3.756, and it says round your answer to 2 decimal places. So I will round this up to 3.76. 3.76, and I'm done. Submit it. Auto grading it. Now I'm trying to see if there's any typo because we know we got it right. So that's it. 7 out of 7, just like that. Make sure you know how to do all of these, please. And ask me more questions next Tuesday because these are what I grabbed from your Unit 2 exam. So if you know how to do all of these, you should be okay on 6.3 part of exam 2, okay? I'm going to stop the recording of this video. I'll process this on YouTube and send you a link on Canvas announcements so that you guys can watch this, okay? If you have any other questions, please write me an email. I'll check it and I will get back to you before next Monday because your homeworks and everything is due next Monday, okay?